Ana Paula Henkel, retired Brazilian volleyball Olympian and conservative commentator. She focuses on traditional values, critiques gender inclusion policies, and opposes the participation of transgender women in women's sports. It's not often you see an Olympic medalist step straight into political debates on national TV, but Henkel has made that her path, using her media platforms to voice her conservative views. She often frames her arguments around protecting women's sports and defending family structures. In addition to her political commentary, she has also written columns for major Brazilian newspapers, where she regularly criticizes progressive cultural trends and supports conservative policies. For her, the transition from volleyball courts to TV studios was less about leaving the spotlight and more about changing the stage. Today, she is known as a firm conservative presence, mixing her sports background with a political message that resonates on Brazil's right. Paola Egonu, leading Italian volleyball player and international champion. She emphasizes anti-racism, advocates for immigrant rights, and critiques discrimination that minorities face in sports. She once shocked fans by admitting she thought about leaving the national team after repeated racist attacks, a moment that made headlines far beyond volleyball. Her story is not just about personal struggle, it opened up bigger conversations in Italy about who gets to belong and what it means to represent the country. She has also been outspoken about the challenges faced by second-generation immigrants in Italy, reminding people that talent and identity should not be questioned because of skin color. When a star athlete voices the same frustrations that so many young immigrants feel, people start to listen in a different way. Egonu today is seen as a progressive presence, turning her personal experiences into a platform for wider debates on equality and citizenship. Kennedy Stanford, Malaya Jones, and Naima Weathers, players for Colorado State University's women's volleyball team. Back in 2020, when the Black Lives Matter movement was at its height, they made headlines by kneeling during the national anthem and refusing to back down. The BLM movement called for an end to police violence and racial inequality, sparking demonstrations on campuses across the United States. They emphasize racial justice, focus on systemic inequality, and advocate for equal rights through symbolic protest. While many college athletes stayed away from confrontation, they chose to keep the protest going season after season. They also spoke publicly about the importance of creating safer and more inclusive spaces on campus, linking their stand on the court to everyday student life. Their choice to continue protesting in front of large crowds turned ordinary matches into moments of civic awareness. Their actions made them recognizable voices in college sports, showing how volleyball can be tied directly to broader movements for racial equity. Kerry Walsh Jennings, three-time Olympic champion in beach volleyball. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she made waves by speaking out against mask requirements, framing her stance around personal freedoms and constitutional rights. The debate at the time wasn't just about health rules, it was about how far government authority should reach into daily life. She emphasizes personal freedom, critiques government mandates, and puts individual rights at the center of her message. Most veteran athletes stayed away from politically charged issues, but she chose to take a clear public stand, which immediately drew both support and criticism. Her comments spread quickly online, showing how one statement from a well-known athlete can ignite a national conversation. Even though she later clarified her position, her stance connected her to libertarian-leaning arguments about state power. Today, she is seen as part of the conservative libertarian wing of athlete commentary in the US. Wallace de Souza, Olympic gold medalist and opposite hitter for Brazil's national team. He emphasizes conservative values, stays loyal to Bolsonaro-era politics, and often speaks out against left-wing leadership. In 2018, he openly showed Bolsonaro's campaign number during matches, something most athletes chose not to do. His biggest scandal came in January 2023, when he posted an Instagram poll asking followers if they would rather shoot Lula or themselves, a post that quickly went viral and forced him to issue a public apology. That moment made clear how far he was willing to mix political identity with his athletic fame, even if it meant suspension and harsh criticism. It showed the risks athletes face when they turn personal views into public polls seen by millions. Wallace has since become a lightning rod for political debate in Brazilian sports, standing out as one of the most visible conservative voices in volleyball. Douglas Souza, Olympic champion and outside hitter for Brazil's national team. He emphasizes LGBTQ+ visibility, advocates for progressive values, and often speaks out against Bolsonaro's government. While many male athletes prefer to stay quiet about their personal lives, Douglas chose openness, embracing his sexuality and sharing it with fans around the world. He also used humor on social media to call out conservative leaders, which made his posts spread quickly beyond volleyball circles. When an athlete jokes about politics in front of millions, it can hit harder than a formal speech. His visibility grew even more as he became known as Brazil's first openly gay male volleyball star, blending top-level performance with outspoken activism. activism. That combination of sport and identity turned him into one of the most recognizable progressive voices in Brazilian volleyball. Marcin Możdżonek, former captain of Poland's national volleyball team and world champion, he emphasizes nationalist themes, supports socially conservative policies, and aligns himself with right-wing politics. In a move that surprised many fans, he joined Sławomir Menczen's far-right party Nowa Nadzieja, backing a platform that is openly critical of LGBTQ rights and immigration. When a former national team leader openly sides with a political party, it blurs the line between sport and politics in a very public way. Rather than staying neutral after retirement, he chose to step into debates that divide Polish society. He has also spoken about the need to protect Poland's cultural identity, echoing themes often used in nationalist rhetoric. That choice made him stand out not just as a former champion, but as someone willing to embrace the controversy that comes with far-right politics. Today, he is seen as part of the conservative wing of public life in Poland, shifting from volleyball courts to political stages. Michał Kubiak, longtime captain of Poland's national team and Olympic competitor, he emphasizes patriotism, focuses on national pride, and does not hesitate to speak bluntly about rival nations. In 2019, he sparked outrage by calling Iranians malicious and damned people, comments that were widely condemned as xenophobic. When a national team leader makes such remarks, the impact goes far beyond the volleyball court. The fallout was immediate, leading to a 6-match suspension and a formal apology issued by the Polish Federation. He has also been outspoken about defending Poland's image on the international stage, saying he feels athletes carry a responsibility to protect their country's reputation. Moments like this show how quickly words from a star player can escalate into a diplomatic issue. Today, Kubiak is remembered not only for his skill as captain, but also as a polarizing figure whose national pride often turned into controversy. Bartosz Kurek, MVP of the 2018 World Championship and leading star of Polish volleyball. He emphasizes inclusivity, supports LGBTQ rights, and calls for respect throughout the sporting community. In a notable gesture, he publicly backed American libero Eric Shoji after his coming out, posting a message of pride and encouragement. When one of the biggest names in Polish volleyball shows support like that, it sends a strong signal that goes well beyond the game. Kurek has also spoken about the importance of keeping sports open and welcoming for everyone, regardless of background or identity. His stance reminded fans that success on the court can be matched by leadership off the court. Today, he is seen not just as a champion, but as a progressive voice in Polish volleyball, standing for equality in a space where many still prefer to stay quiet. Kimberly Druniak, opposite hitter for Germany's national volleyball team, she emphasizes inclusivity, supports LGBTQ+ rights, and often speaks about the importance of respect within sports culture. In interviews, she has underlined that volleyball should be a space where everyone feels safe, no matter their identity or background. She has also shared her perspective on mental health, pointing out that athletes should feel comfortable addressing pressure and well-being without stigma. Beyond the court, Druniak has joined discussions on gender equality in German sports, calling for stronger visibility and investment in women's leagues.